What's good, Ja? You already know what it is, baby. This is T Paris, aka the Young Marvin Gaye. This rap shit, most original, most creative, most in tune with the times, and I'm sort of like your inspiration. And this is P's Perspective, the recap. But let's not waste no time. Let's get right into it. Now, this week our topic of discussion was titled Control. Before we even get into that, y'all know what I like to do at this time, man. I'm gonna ask that you please hit that like button. I'm gonna ask that you please hit the subscribe button and the comments, because you know how we greatly appreciate those. I'm gonna ask that you keep those coming and let you know we want to tell you thank you from the bottom of our heart. Now, like I said, our topic of discussion this week was titled Control. I thought that would be dope because, you know, going back into, you know, some of the other episodes we had, we spoke about black love. You know, we spoke about the dynamics of the black man and the black women. Do we love one another? We spoke about the lack of comprehension of each other. We spoke about cheating and why cheating is one of the things that make it difficult for us to comprehend one another. And so I wanted to delve a little bit deeper and just speak about that good old thing we call control, man. A lot of relationships, I feel like they based upon either love or control. Of course, we got some gray area in between, but oftentimes those extremes is where most people fall at, you know? People try to be perfect. People try to live their best life, so to speak. So we're going to get into the recap this week. We're going to start it off with the questions. We're going to have a beautiful heart-to-heart. And I'm just going to encourage y'all, man, to keep on showing support. You know, keep on sending those topics in. And let me touch on this before we even get started, man. I realized that as of late, you know, our show of support as far as the views have gone, they kind of dwindling. And at first I was kind of like trying to understand why. But this topic right here, man, it drove the nail in the coffin. It drove the nail in the coffin, man. And I'm going to talk about that. But let's get into it, man. We had a couple questions. Our first question: what was most important to you, status or true love? Our second question: could you walk away from someone who possesses all the money but doesn't show you respect? And our third question is: how can you tell when it's love versus just status? Okay, so our first comment comes from Zenobia Sweat. She said, facts. We appreciate that, man. Toast to the town. I want y'all to pay attention to who the comments came from this week too, man. Our next comment came from Patricia Perry. It's my stepmom. She said, I love this. Toast to the town. We appreciate that. Our next comment comes from Trisha Hopkins. She put the questions in with her response. She said, what's most important to you? Status or true love? She said, true love is most important. Status can always change. True love is consistent. I feel like love can move mountains. Wow, that was powerful. Question number 2, could you walk away from someone who possesses all the money but doesn't show you respect? I do, and I have. No regrets. I did miss him a little when my car needed work, but I handled my business and was proud of myself afterwards. Question number 3, how can you tell when it's love versus status? Well, for me, I think enjoying a person's company without a dollar being spent, knowing he could lose it all tomorrow and nothing will change on my end. I'm telling you, love is powerful when it's real. I appreciate that. I appreciate the detailed comments too. Toast to the town. Our next comment comes from Shalevia Copin. She said, this is true. Louder for the people in the back so they can hear you. I appreciate that. So we talking to the quiet, man. Talk to the people in the back. As we continue on, our next comment comes from Joelle Benson. She said, school them. I appreciate that. Toast to the town. Next comment comes from Microphone Bully TV. Bounce Past P. Leading as always. That's my brother, man. The creativity. I appreciate you, Biz. Toast to the town, brother. The next comment comes from Brian Brown. The first question: true love over status any day. Second question: me personally, I could walk away from somebody with all the money if there's no respect. And I have in my past. Question number 3, I would imagine a person has to show you that they love you, not just talk about it. Walk it. 100. TP, I appreciate you, King. Stay blessed. A very unique podcast. Toast to the town. Be easy. That's family, man. I appreciate that. Toast to the town, man. The next comment come from Glory Ave TV. Real spill, P. There's truly a dependency in these type of relationships which aren't spoken on enough in society. True lack of genuine love in many relationships. Lots of work to be done. Great topic. I appreciate that, man. Toast to the town. No J, no P. You echoed my heart here. Uncanny synchronicity. I literally was trying to elaborate on everything you covered in conversation today. I appreciate that. That's my Muslim sister, man. Assalamu alaikum, man. Toast to the town. The next comment come from Mac Mean, true story. Said I'm starting to anticipate P's perspective, which is a good look. Love encompasses the good and the bad. Starting to anticipate P's perspective, man. We appreciate that comment. Toast to the town, man. I couldn't even wait to get into what I was talking about when I said the nail in the coffin, man. So I just had to say that so I wouldn't forget. Sometime when I tell y'all we're going to get back to it, I'll be forgetting to get back to it, man. I apologize. But I want to say thank you for those comments. You know, real brief, but real powerful, real impactful. You know, seems that a lot of the feedback came from the women. And when I said, you know, I wanted to touch on something in the nail in the coffin, what I was going to say is this, man. I think that the dialogues that we have here are amazing, but also feel like it's like medicine. And oftentimes we don't look forward to the medicine, or in this case, the information. Now, I'm not saying people don't look forward to seeing P's perspective, but just considering, you know, we talk for about 15 to 20, 25 minutes on the average. You know, the average person attention span only lasts for about 20 minutes. And so if you got to sit here and listen to only me talk about what I think, what I feel, you know, what I think is important, yeah, sometimes you might feel like, I could do something else. But like I said, this week, the nail in the coffin, man. The universe don't lie. And so I want to point out that I got a lot of feedback behind the scenes. And a lot of that feedback came from older women, you know, which kind of let me know that a lot of the women can identify what we're talking about here. And oftentimes, the reason why women can identify that is something that we spoke about, you know what I'm saying, a lot earlier in some of the other episodes, is about the maturity of a woman. A woman matures, you know, so fast that they get to a point where they'll watch us as men, you know, stumble over the same roadblocks 2 and 3 times and still be supportive of us, not give up on us. You know, they will see, you know, the lie before you even tell it. They already know when they ask you the question. They already know the answer. But because oftentimes, you know, women come from a place of nurturing and loving and caring, they're going to show us some support. They're going to hold us down. And I'm going to say this, and I hope that I don't get, you know, beat up for this one right here. Yo, because a lot of this stuff is going on in the privacy and comfort of our own house, our own private intimacy, a lot of the fellas is getting away with a lot of bullshit, man. A lot of bullshit. Yeah, man. But see, this is the thing about a woman, like I said, man, and this is crazy because we didn't get a lot of feedback, you know, on the public platform, but a lot of the feedback that I got behind the scenes came from the women. And like I told y'all before, man, yo, you can't call a woman's bluff. You can't point a woman out, like put her on the spot or check her, none of that. They're not going for that. And so in my last episode, it might have seemed like I was, you know, poking or touching at certain things, but I really wasn't. I really was just having a real open and unbiased conversation. But, you know, real, a lot of the older women were saying that you hit home for me. You know, I even had a couple people tell me that it made them shed tears because it almost felt like I was talking directly to them. And I want to point out that a lot of the scenarios that I spoke about in that first video pertain to how men treat women, you know? And so it's like I was pointing out, you know, some people's personal situations, so to speak, and not intentionally, but like I said, sometimes women are so supportive of us that we do a lot of nonsense and they still hold us down. You know, so for example, you know, you a street dude and you got a lot of paper on you. and you go somewhere and show your woman a great time. A great time. We lit and all that. You got a couple friends and everything. But oftentimes, y'all get up and don't leave no tip. And think that because you dropped a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying, that you impressing somebody. Let me tell you something. And you can ask your lady this. That's embarrassing to a woman. Ask them. That's embarrassing to a woman. When you go out and you kind of like showing off and showing all this money, and you got these people waiting on you hand and feet, showing you love, and you know, it's like you trying to show off for the woman in that moment. And she want to feel like, if you're going to do it, daddy, do it. If you're going to do it, daddy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes we half-stepping. You know what I'm saying? We go halfway. You going to flaunt for the meal, but when it's time to show them some reciprocity for all the love and support that they showed you during this, you know, dinner, you know, bringing the bottles and bringing that nice piece of seafood and making sure that that steak is well done and, you know, bringing you extra drinks with extra liquor, and you don't want to drop that tip. She embarrassed about that, killer. You know what I mean? And so she might not get to the point where she going to leave you, but she definitely going to make a mental note about that. And so a lot of us is walking on thin ice, you know what I'm saying, after that first and second encounter. Not even knowing that she going to give you a chance because she sees something else in you. Remember I spoke about those flaws? That's some of the flaws that you got that she think they beautiful. You know why? Because you tried. You tried, you know what I'm saying? You went hard, and she going to overlook it like, you know, maybe he just had too much to drink. You know what I'm saying? But something else that I want to point out, because I'm not going to let the ladies off the hook. You know, sometimes women can be controlling too. Y'all remember that song Beyonce had, Let Me Upgrade You? All right. So sometimes we got some women, right? And they got their eye on this young man from a distance. They already knew that they was gonna bag you before they even gave you the number, youngin. Trust me when I tell you, they already knew that, right? And so when she's starting to kick it to you, she gonna listen and listen intently. And so when you telling her things like, you know, I never had a woman take me out. You know, I'm always taking them out. And I learned in the end, good guys finish last. You know what I'm saying? Or I never had a woman buy me anything outside of some cologne or some socks. So she gonna start blessing you. She gonna start taking care of you. Them good smell goods. You know what I'm saying? Them nice fabrics on your back and all that. Summertime, she got you some white tees with the tank tops under it. You know what I mean? She got you the real ankle socks. Because women like to do the little things, the small things, because that's what really matter. But at the same time, she trying to show you how she want to be treated too, killer. So pay attention to that. But again, she do all these nice things, and in the conversation, she hear you say, you know, I'm trying to get my shit right, you know what I mean? So I could get a woman like yourself. Like, he putting it out there. I'm not ready to commit, but she gonna shower you with love. And then she gonna get to that point where she gonna yell at you like, you know, I'm tired of doing all this stuff for you and you ain't doing nothing for me. Come on, love. If you're going to upgrade him, you got to take the time and let that man develop the way he developed. You can't put the onus on him to jump into that commitment box all of a sudden. It don't work like that, baby. You can't change the play a game in the ninth inning. It don't go like that, baby. You know that. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. You know, the women that love to spoil a man, and then they feel like I done did enough to make you commit. And some men just be feeling like, yo, I appreciate it, but I'm still not ready. And that's a form of control that women use, you know what I mean? Or manipulation. Another one I want to point out, you got that term cougars, right? I love a cougar, man. I love an older woman, man. It's something about an older woman, man. The way they take care of themselves, the way they take care of you, the way they think. You know what I mean? The level of patience in an older woman. But you got some older women, and they like young, fiery men. You know what I mean? Young, fiery men that still could get it up. You know, a term I hear when I speak to older women a lot is rounds. You know what I mean? They want a young man who could go rounds. So you find you a woman, an older woman, and she done been around the block a couple times. So she's very, very, very experienced, and she gonna take her time with you. And she gonna do things that the average young, you know what I'm saying, young lady not gonna do. But it's some things that they gonna do that you gotta be careful about, man. You gotta be careful about. You got some women that wanna do things that test your manhood. I'm talking about, you know, pardon my French, you know, giving you that good old FaceTime. And then she want to extend her tongue to your rear end. Now, any real man, you know, we're not going for that, man. We not going for that, man. Arthur Ashe, Mike Tyson, you know. Come on, man. Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake. We not playing that game right there, but, you know, sometimes they go for that. You know, and they want to introduce you to things that you might not be accustomed to, because it's going to come a point in time when they're going to start to tell you, like, listen, we're not just going to be having sex. You're like, you're going to have to bring something in this house, put some food on this table, pay a bill or something like that. And she done blew your mind. And all you could think about is getting back to that wet. You know what I'm saying? Now, I point these out because these are forms of control that women use. You know what I'm saying? And these controlling, you know, terms are also known as manipulation, man. Manipulation. Men and women do it, man. Men and women do it. And so the moral of that story is we got to start to learn to pay attention to, you know, what it is about a person that we really care about, you know? I think in this day and age, we throwing that term love around, you know, real loosely and real freely. So let's say you meet somebody and after a couple months, they like, I love you. And you follow up with that, I love you too. Me, I got a problem with that. I don't even think that's real. You know what I'm saying? A woman to tell me, yo, P, I love you. And I'm going to be like, thank you. And no disrespect to you. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to you. But in the back of my mind, what I'm trying to focus on is, what is it about me that she loves? And is she treating me like she loves me? You know what I'm saying? Because if you telling me you love me, but it don't feel like it's love, oh, we ain't even looking for no confirmation on that. We gonna blow that scene. We gonna blow that. You know what I mean? Love is one of those things that when people feel like they in love, yo, anything goes. You know what I'm saying? So we spoke about, you know, the young lady that's getting disrespected, and she speak to her friends, and she like, you know, he bought me a Gucci bag and bought the Louis Vuitton, you know, travel package and all that. Like, whenever I need something, he got the feats and everything. Like, he look out for me. He throw me a couple dollars if I need, you know? But is that really love, or is that manipulation? You know what I'm saying? Because if his money long, you know what I'm saying? It ain't tricking if you got it. It ain't tricking if you got it. You might be a tax write-off, boo-boo. You know how that go. Come on, man. Stop acting like you ain't played this game for real, B. Another thing, you know, we spoke about the, you know, the level of respect, being able to walk into a place and doors just open for you. And then when you gone, it's back to, you know what I'm saying, being normal, being regular. You know, that's the same thing with love. It's like, you know, when we having a good time and when we in a good space, it's all love. But when we frustrated and we not seeing eye to eye, do you still love me the same? Because if you don't, that's not real love. That's not genuine. And so, like I said, when you tell him, yo, you gotta go, and he been taking care of you, and he throw a couple dollars on the table, like, all right, hold that down, and you ain't got to worry about me no more. That's real love. Y'all might not be in love with each other, but the love is still there. Like, he's still looking out for you. And like I said, you know, sometimes people say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna love you forever. That's when it's real. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna love you forever. And, you know, I want to say this. Don't never forget this. You know what I'm saying? Manipulation is oftentimes a one-sided thing. You know what I'm saying? That's an affair about control. And when it's love, it's a two-way street. I found love on a two-way street. Yeah, them windbags is nice. But yeah, you know, love is a two-way street. You know what I mean? And manipulation is a one-sided affair. So we got to pay attention to what side of the block we going to stand on. And when it's all said and done, like whatever side that you decide you want to pick, I just want you to remember one thing. Remember one thing. The same thing that make you laugh is the same thing that'll make you cry. And so when you in a happy space, you know what I'm saying, you loving, and everything is good, it's all love. But when it's real love, when you down and you out, love is still going to be present. But when it's manipulation, when everything is good, it's bottles and roses and balloons and all that. But when everything is bad, it's kiss my ass and I see you when I see you. You know what I mean? We got to start to pay attention to who the person is that we want to love. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would challenge you to do. And start to learn to understand the person that you saying you want to love or you want to fall in love with. What is it about them that you love? And make sure it's the same thing every day. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that if they fed you today and that's what you loved about them, that's not the last time that they feed you. Because you love that moment. You don't love that person. We could go on forever. I don't want to talk y'all to death, man, but I just feel like this was a good topic, a good dialogue. And for me, the behind the scenes comments are beautiful. But it's not about me, man. It's about us. You know what I mean? It's about us. And so I'm going to challenge you, man. Yo, throw that on YouTube. Throw that on Facebook, man. Put that out there so the people can see. And we recognize that we not out here living this painful, experience that we call life alone, man. Y'all know what it is, man. It's T Paris, a.k.a. the Young Marvin Gaye. This rap shit, most original, most creative, most in tune with the times, and I'm sort of like an inspiration. And this is Peace Perspective, baby. Toast to the town. Peace.